let's talk about the appearance of the Impossible Man.
Now,
Shades and I are very familiar with Impy. Ryan has seen Impossible Man once for a couple of panels in Marvel 2-in-1 with Deathlock. Here, you get kind of a taste of the Impy sense of humor. What did you think, Ryan, of the Impossible Man and this particular scene?
I thought it was funny the way he comes in just to ask like a simple human question. What is a movie? Short, sweet, simple. Doesn't overdo its stay.
He is short, sweet, and simple. That's what the Impossible Man is.
His obsessing on TV makes total sense because Impy changes into things all the time.
Yes.
And of course, when he watches TV, he changes into the stuff he's watching.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very.
He's like a child.
He's a child.
He is a child.
Total
yes.
child, but he's almost indestructible. Right?
Right.
He's the last of his race thus far.
We're going to cover the story where his planet is destroyed so that Ryan can get a full
flying?
view. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he can pretty much do anything
except change color.
He can't change color. He can.
He used to be able to.
He can't go back in time or anything, but he can control his own body pretty much anything.
Right, he controls the molecule.
Great episode where he's fighting the Molecule Man, and Molecule Man turns him into a cube. Molecule Man's boasting, saying, you can't nobody can, resist my powers. Suddenly a fist comes out of the cube, punches the Molecule Man, and says, everyone's molecules but mine.
Everyone's molecules but mine.
I can control all molecules, everyone's but mine.
And when he first appeared, and we will cover his first appearance, he could change colors. But later on, because they wanted a battle between him and Warlock to go Warlock's way in the New Mutants, they took that power away. He became more like Plastic Man who can't change colors. Speaking of battle, let's get to the big Dukaroo. Our boys versus the Eliminator. And my favorite panel when the Eliminator burst through.
Yes.
Let's start with Shades. What did you think of this fight? And then we'll go to Ryan.
Like I said, the fight was great. The art was great. The robot is different here because you could tell he's not a robot exactly. He's like some hideous zombie creature.
Cyborg kind of thing?
Yes, thank you. A cyborg zombie. So you got this poor, kind of feel sorry for him even though he's trying to kill everyone. He's some horrible, almost like Deathlock.
Well, because he's not supposed to be just technology because we're talking about witches here.
Yeah,
so they gave it a horror movie edge.
Yeah, so he's just not someone you want to be. But it's just great. The art is great. The colors of the red, the metallic, and like I said, the zombie underneath is just awesome. He has 2 slots for nose, which kind of makes us think of Deathlock, right? And someone else has.
There's several that have the Death's Head has it too. So what did you think, Ryan, of the things Mega Punch came down on him?
That was funny. The way he's over here boasting, and then out of nowhere is just jumps on him, and then Reed's, can you give us a warning?
Yeah, because Reed can't stretch out of the way.
That's right. Yeah. He's just a guy now.
So, and then you see Sue demonstrate her ability by slugging him with her force field. One of the things that was really cool here, Johnny was initially hit by the Eliminator. They had to save Johnny here. Johnny couldn't get his powers to work. When the Eliminator is about to fry Ben with his fingers, Johnny jumps in the way and absorbs the power, is rejuiced up, just like Giant Robot in an atomic blast. What did you think about Johnny's Energon there, Ryan?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. The other times we've seen him fight fire before, I don't think he's done that, so that's a development so far.
Jack, I have a quick question. Why didn't the Eliminator kill Johnny the first time?
He wanted to lure the Fantastic Four there.
That's what I thought. Okay.
That was the plan. The point is he was bait. But I loved the conclusion of the battle too, where Reed figures out that the Eliminator will eliminate himself. He defeats the Fantastic Four and they all take a dive. To me, that showed Reed is way more than just the elastic
stretching guy.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the issue, Shades? Then we'll do Ryan and...
Well, like I said, that one piece where Reed is vowing to get revenge on whoever might have hurt his son. But that aside, I like the feel of the Eliminator.
Very imposing.
Yeah, very imposing. I like how he uses his fingers and sticks them into his chest. He has the nodules waiting for the disc waiting for his fingers. I like that. There was just so many great things. I like the difference between the Fantastic Four world and the scary, spooky house. I thought they did that just so well. Suddenly, again, shout out to Perez. He just did an awesome job. Suddenly, you're in a spooky house. Suddenly, you're in a spooky kind of yard. You can almost hear
it looks very dark shadows.
It's very dark shadows. You can hear the owls in the background, and you can hear the coyote. It's just the wind and all that.
When the car gets destroyed, all the different, just little debris here and there, and all the stuff going on with the background and the beam. So that's like a great panel right there.
Yeah, I totally agree. Every little
And
piece
then-
has a dimension to it.
That fight when they're all take their dive, I thought that was interesting. At first it caught me off guard. I seen Sue get disintegrated, and I was like, no way did he actually, is she actually like gone? They might find a way to bring her back later. When he had said something about his plan and didn't actually say the plan, I figured that, something had to
That
be
was
going
the
on
plan,
here. Yeah.
I'm wondering if they could have retooled that somehow to where he didn't say he had a plan, but maybe he just said a little something, and then Sue gets killed. The Torch gets killed, and then everyone gets killed. You know what I mean? Because
I
to me
think
it was
they
kind of
wanted-
obvious that it was a plan.
Well, I think they wanted that, though. They want
But
you
they-
to see that Reed's mind is working.
How I
they
first
could
read
have
it,
thrown that in at the end, saying that was a great idea you had, Reed, and that way we would have been more shocked because when everyone gets killed, we kind of know it's got to be part of a plan because Reed is talking about.
well, at first when I first read it, I didn't think he got to finish his plan. I thought he was in the
Okay,
middle of
yeah.
talking because it says the dot, and then he starts talking
Okay,
and blasts
so
them.
yeah, so that
So
works.
I thought at first he was like in the middle of his plan telling them, and then he
Before-
just beams it.
Yeah, kills
And
him
then
before.
that's why they get so angry about it. I thought
Right.
that's what was happening.
Yeah.
The way the plan works is my favorite part of this book. From Sue's quote-unquote death, and then its effect on Reed, and Reed's death is a one panel, and then with Thing, you have a triptych of him being beaten to death in front of Johnny. And then Johnny, the best art panel for me in the whole thing is when Johnny is going Nova, you just see almost a super pained in expression and fire like everywhere around him. It is intimidating. It looks like they all died.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Perez's artwork is so good. To put the trip kit with Thing in the middle of that actually highlighted every death from it.
I mean, if you want to be picky, and I usually save my pickiness for the other, but if you want to be picky, you could say, well, why are they really genuinely seem so upset when they know, Reed knows Sue is not really
Yeah,
dead.
but they gotta act.
I know, and that's
They
what
gotta-
but my question is, why are they suddenly such great actors? Why do they have
Well,
this
Sue
enormous...
is an actress, but she's the first one they killed.
Well, yeah, right. So anyway, that's my thing. But I'm not saying I would even change it because it adds to the story. But if you want to get picky, if you want to pick it apart, you could say, well, why is Johnny acting like it's the end of the world? Why is Reed so upset?
Well, Johnny has had acting experience, and Thing, of course, was a wrestler, which is acting experience. So
you weaseled your way out of my criticism. I'm impressed. You deserve this no prize. This is one no prize I will give you. I'll give you that no prize. I didn't.
all right, Ryan.
Okay, what about Reed Richards? Ha! No
Reed-
acting there.
Reed is the one
But
that
he is having a meltdown.
he's having a
Okay,
meltdown. So he's just letting his nervous
so-
nervous breakdown
yeah,
go.
he can vent it a bit into
So,
the acting role.
All right, yay or nay on the villain. As traditionally, I'll begin with I really like the Eliminator, and I don't know if he ever comes back.
He's eliminated.
He pretty much is, but I mean that doesn't mean it's his comics. But I mean the George Perez design is good. He doesn't have a lot of personality, but he's not supposed to. He's just a killing machine. It's like I like the shark in Jaws, and Eliminator is like a really cool horror movie cyborg shark in Jaws. So I'm gonna give him a big yay.
Yeah, well, Shades loved this episode. You're in kind of my turf now. I like this stuff. The Eliminator was great. He's not this deep mystical character, nor is he supposed to be. He doesn't need this huge personality behind him. But the art, like I said earlier, kind of gives him that because he is kind of like a zombie cyborg. Thumbs up, great episode and a good villain.
Yeah, I have to do a yay as well. There's just his design, his intimidation factor, the amount of anticipation for what could happen to them and what does happen throughout the story. It all adds up. This is just an amazing issue. I feel like he's the most to give them the run for their money.
All right then, folks. That wraps it up for 184, and of course, happy Halloween. Next time, we will do 185. And so we all want to let you know, be fantastic.